This is going to be my reintroduction. I know I did a introduction video a while back, but I am so totally a different human being now because last time I did a introduction video, it was 2.5, 3 years ago, I would say. And I told you guys a little about where I was in life, and where I'm at now is so entirely different, and it's really cool for me. So here we are. I'm gonna take you through a little bit about who I am, what I've been up to, and what I'm doing so that you guys can know a little bit more about me. It's really cool because my YouTube, I guess, kind of shows it, but like not really, because I started a podcast and like I've been posting my like trading videos, but this is gonna be a real deep video. 1 year ago, I was managing one person, but today I am managing 340 clients with a team of 8. No playbook, no training, 0 manuals, just lessons the hard way. And I realize I never have told you guys who I am. So here I am. My name is Felicity, and this is how I scaled in complete chaos at the age of 25. I work for a company called ARFunnel, and I'm essentially like, I joke around because Baker, the COO, he made a joke saying that I'm the CMFIC, which is Chief Mother Effer in Charge. And even though my actual label is Director of Coaching Success, which I feel like is like good, but also pretty lame, I also don't really care about labels. I just do what I do, and I know I'm important, and that's all that matters. So, period. End of story. Before I was managing people, I was onboarding people with Go High Level. So I'm still using Go High Level. I would say I'm an expert in it. I've definitely spent well over 10,000 hours. I did the calculations last like June, July time, and I think I was already at like 12,000 hours working inside of GHL. So I've done my time. I have done my time, to say the least. My day-to-day quite literally looks like me either building workflows in Go High Level or just clicking around in Go High Level to see what new updates they push out, because they always push out new updates. But my day-to-day looks like just figuring out new things inside of Go High Level, telling my team, making sure my team is functioning, staying on task, pushing people through onboarding, doing all the things that they need to be doing so that our clients are happy. Because I used to be in their exact same roles, and I know exactly how they work through and through. So I'm essentially managing workflows, also having higher level conversations with the leadership team here, and then also managing my own team, which is really cool. It's a lot of stuff to do, and I sometimes feel like I'm a chicken running around with my head cut off. However, I like having different positions like that because that allows me to like utilize my ADD for good, because I might be working deep into workflows and then all of a sudden I get pulled in some other direction and my brain can track it. So essentially I'm like the ops manager. So one thing that we're doing here at AR, which I think is really cool, is that we're integrating, even though we're a software company, we're doing a lot of in-person stuff. So one other thing that I do is we do a lot of in-persons here in the HQ as well, so AR HQ. And in our in-persons, we used to do them one-on-one. Now we do, I guess, 4v5. So we have 5 coaches that come in person, and we do these 2 days intensives where we dive deep into their business. We have them fill out like a survey beforehand, and we get all of their business information. We study it. We look into their businesses, we understand the ins and outs. They come in person and we like help them like revamp everything that they need to revamp. Not saying like changing everything, but more so focusing in on what their bottlenecks are and like what the holes in their bucket of the business is, and then figuring out ways to patch those holes so that they can scale. And so far we've gotten really good feedback, and we haven't even done this for a year. But yeah, these client events are some of the coolest ever. I mean, we've gotten, again, great feedback from our coaches. If you want to see the feedback from our coaches, if you're curious for yourself to come in, just go to our Instagram and you'll see a ton of information there. It's really cool. Yeah. So all of this, funny enough, I did not go to school for. I actually dropped. I'm a registered college dropout. I dropped out the 3rd year of my college because I realized I was learning more from my sales job at a corporate gym than I was from my classes that I was paying $67,000 a semester for. Oh, not a semester, a year for, which is psycho. And so I realized like I'm going to leave schooling because that's taking money out of my pocket, and then go all in into the workforce and just learn as much as I possibly can, as quickly as I possibly can. And that's like how I essentially got here. And the quote that like resonated with this is like, if you want something you don't have, you have to do something that you've never done. And like I have always wanted to live like the freedom lifestyle, because first, freedom also starts with an F. And if you don't know, my initials FFF, so anything F related. Like my favorite word is flourish, and that's why my podcast is called Flourish with Felicity. And I don't know, I love freedom. I love having time freedom, being able to go on a walk or go to the gym whenever my heart desires. I like the ability to have location freedom in a sense of like I can work wherever, but I also want to work really hard. And I want to have this like beautiful balance between like being an entrepreneur and really freaking grinding and working hard. And when I say balance, like I'm probably going to work 60 hours a week for like the rest of my life just because that's my nature. I love working. I'm a workaholic. I know I get that from my dad, and that is a-okay. I love what I do, no matter what I'm doing. With that being said, if you want something that you don't currently have, you have to force production to create your dream life. And I feel like I've done that so far. You have to push yourself outside. You have to force yourself outside of your comfort zone. You need to force the ability to learn the skill that you are lacking in to be able to do the thing that you want to do. Because I guarantee you the thing that's preventing you from getting to where you want to be is because you are lacking in a skill or a trait that will get you there. So for me, for example, I have this delusional like confidence in myself that I will figure it out no matter what. I don't know if that's like delusional confidence or just like self-assurance. I just know for a fact that like no matter what I do or like what happens, I will figure it out and God is on my side and I know that I'm going to be doing big things. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm just going to try every single day to do the things that I feel like are right to get to where I know I belong and the calling that God has put me in my heart to impact a lot of people. There's something deeper, there's something bigger that I need to keep working on myself to be able to get to. Leading a team of 8, I never thought I would be leading a team of 8 at 25 years old, or having people pay $5,000 to come in person and listen to me speak. Granted, I'm not the only one speaking, but still, like that is crazy and so cool. I'm so entirely grateful every single day. I'm gonna keep pushing harder because I know I need to learn more and become better to get to the point at which I want to be, to get to where I need to be. So a few things that I got wrong about managing a team. So I essentially scaled into the role of management and managing Go High Level and like answering all the questions with that just because I've spent 3 years learning Go High Level, like I'm the best at it. And I had to learn such a different skill set. I genuinely think I was kind of thrown to the wolves with it because I was never taught how to manage, which is not a problem. Like I'll figure it out one way or another. I have books. I got the internet. Like I will figure it out. Layla Hermosi has been very helpful in my journey, to say the least. And I'm not her yet, but we're working up. We're working up one skill set at a time. Managing people, I didn't realize how hard it would be because I would say I'm a very easy person to manage because I don't need much management. I can think for myself. I can figure out what I need to do next for the most part, unless like there's something that I have a confusion on. And then of course I'm going to ask the questions, but I'm very independent myself. And I'm pretty capable of just figuring things out and doing the thing because honestly, even the first part of me being with AR, I couldn't really ask many questions just because everyone was so busy. So I just had to figure things out on my own. Again, completely different skill set because I was super fine. And I think everybody is going to be managed just like how I act when I'm managed. And that is so false. All the managers know exactly what I'm talking about here. And not necessarily managing one person was hard, but when we got to 2, we got to 3, now we're at 8. It's a whole different ballgame. Every time you get a new person to manage, like, yeah, it's easier to teach them and get them their skill set up to par, but you have to learn their personality, you have to learn who they are, what they react to. Like, I've realized that if you can yell at one person and it doesn't even faze them, and then you yell at a different person, I'm not saying that I yell at anybody, but I'm just using this as an example, is like, one person needs to be yelled at, the other person just needs to be told once, and they go and do it. And different people react to different things, so you have to learn your team like you learn your clients and know how they tick, know what they react to, if they're better with positive or negative reinforcement, so that you can learn your team and learn how each person needs to be managed to be able to manage well. It's a hard thing to learn because you don't really realize like all the intricacies of a human being until you manage a team. You get a leadership position and then you realize like my clients are now my team, essentially. It honestly, my hardest conversations are not with the team necessarily. Like at first maybe, like I was just like, how do I tell someone they're doing something wrong? You just tell them and you're like, hey, I don't like this behavior, please fix it. If they don't fix it, strike 1. If they don't fix it again, strike 2, you're out. I don't give 3 strikes, I give 2 strikes. Like I told you once, if I have to tell you again, you're donezo, buddy. You also have to learn, one thing about management is that you have to learn your managing style. For example, like me saying like 2 strikes, you're out. It's not really like 2 strikes, you're out, like I'm gonna yell at you, I'm gonna be whatever. I'm very nice, but I believe if you want to, you will. If you don't want to, you're just showing me who you are as a person, and I personally don't want someone on my team that doesn't have the same care and effort that I do for the business. Even if it's like 80 to 90%, that's all I'm really looking for, and for you to get your job done. And if you can't handle that, then like get out of my face, because I will find someone that will do the job. I think team culture is one of the most important things inside of a business, and if you don't have the right people in the right spots, then your business will never scale because people are being capped by their abilities and their skill sets. Yes, you could teach people skills. However, there's certain traits and qualities that you need to be in specific roles. And if you can't meet those standards, then there's no sense in having you be here. Also, if they're not showing that they care as a person in general about the business and like the mission and everything, then like get them out. Get them out. Just because you want to play Mr. Nice Guy, like don't. Learn that the hard way. Honestly, overarching, like being a leader is calling the proper shots, like making the proper decisions for not just yourself, but for your team as well. Being able to put your foot down, being able to bring up problems, being able to take feedback as well yourself as a manager, and actually being able to change your own personal behaviors. Because if you're able to carry yourself well, take feedback well, your team is going to be 80 to 90% of who you show up to be in the workplace. So if you can't do the standard, then you don't deserve to be in a management position. And that's my opinion. But I genuinely believe that the best managers or the best people for the role of management are the people that hold themselves to a standard and then are capable of pushing that, because everything goes downstream. So like if the leader cannot hold a standard, and this goes for even like CEOs or like any chief position in a company, if you can't hold a standard yourself, how in the world are you going to be expecting your team to hold a standard? Like that just makes zero sense to me. Like you're falling short, so everyone else is going to fall short. They follow suit. That's why you're in a leadership position. So freaking lead. I'm getting a little heated. There's skill sets that I personally need to build to become a better manager. And I know what they are, but the only way that I can become better at them is through practice and practicing these skill sets in my day-to-day and making sure and holding myself accountable to them, and stepping up to the plate when I have a slight sense of fear to not step up to the plate in that regard, and then just going full force at it. And that's going to be for everything that you do in life. If you have a sense of fear to go and do the thing that you know is right for you to do, go and do it anyways, because honestly, what is the worst that can happen? I always am like, the worst that happens is that I get fired for saying the wrong thing. Granted, I don't think that will ever happen. I will get a conversation. Then I'm like, cool, learned a lesson, right? That, I guess that's the worst that can happen. Even if that happens, let's say I really, really screwed up, I'd get fired. I now have a skill set to get me to the, let's say, 200K per month. Pretty cool skill set. I think I'll be able to figure it out. Again, you'll figure it out. Be optimistic. There's no point in stressing. Whatever happens will happen. And it's just a matter of how are you going to bounce back from that and then step up and actually move forward. Because if you just sulk and freak out consistently every single day for the rest of your life, that is not a life to live. Get over it. Get up again. You get knocked down a million times. As long as you get up that million and first time, that's all that matters. That is all that matters. No matter how many times you get punched in the face. Like, as long as you get back up, you're good to go. A lot of people compliment me on my mindset and my outlook on life and my viewpoints. And I think it's because this society validates and honors a victim mindset of everything happens to me rather than I created those things to happen. But because I created those things to happen, I can change it. I first look internally and it's like, cool, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something for myself, right? And I look internally, like what skill sets do I have that I can monetize? Are you an artist? Can you paint and then sell your paintings on Facebook Marketplace to make some money? Are you a digital artist? Can you make Canva documents or Canva templates and then sell them for cheap on Etsy? Are you good at talking? Can you go and make YouTube videos and start posting them and then maybe build a following of you yapping away like myself? Like, what are your skill sets? What are you naturally good at doing? You do have skill sets. You just don't have enough self-confidence to look internally and then compliment yourself on something. You live in a world right now where content is free to create content. Figure out what you're good at and then figure out a way to monetize it. But if you have troubles with monetizing it, comment down below, letting me know, and I will help you monetize whatever you're trying to monetize. I will give you ideas. You just have to go and do the work. That's the second piece. It doesn't come down just to the mindset. Like, you can visualize, you can manifest, you can do all of these different things, but until you actually take action on the thing, like, nothing is going to happen. You can manifest all day, every day. It's not going to happen until, I'm saying manifest. I would pray about it. I believe that there is a God and listens, but you can pray about it. But if you don't take action, like, God is not going to gift something to someone without them at least putting in work to do it. You have to get that ball rolling. You have to push that ball, and God will bless you along the way with things that you least expect. If you have trouble taking action on things, what's one thing that you've been promising yourself that you will take action on that doesn't actually seem too far-fetched? Let's say if you're like, I want to go to the gym in the morning. However, your apartment or your house is a mess. Go and clean up your mess first. Like, go and do the one thing that, like, you know that you should probably do, and then make that a habit. So read the book Atomic Habits. This is literally what he talks about. It's like, make your bed, and then you can attach something to making your bed. Maybe it's make your bed and then you drink a glass of water. That's it, because you need to get in more water throughout the day. You're not even at the gym yet, but you're stacking habits. So, like, all right, you made your bed, you drank a glass of water 2 weeks in a row. Maybe we add on one more habit. Maybe it's just taking your supplements. And so now you have more energy and you're feeling better because you're taking your supplements in the morning and drinking water when you first wake up, alongside also making your bed. So you're actively getting up and getting moving. And then maybe you take your supplements and then maybe you put on your gym clothes. Maybe you even just start going for a walk to start. It's like, okay, maybe I get on my gym clothes and then what, Felicity? Do I just change into my work clothes? No, like maybe we go on a 5-minute walk. And then you just continuously build up these habits over and over and over again. And as you build them up, everything else becomes easier. And that's how you start to learn how to take action on things, because you're starting off very, 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 very small. Maybe you don't even start off with making your bed. Maybe you start off with drinking a glass of water, whatever seems so easy to you and something that you can do every single day. And then you just attach one action to it once a week. Every other week, doesn't matter. However often you need, and whenever it starts to feel easy, it's the same thing about going to the gym. You're gonna do bicep curls, you're gonna do 1 pound bicep curls, and then eventually you'll be able to do 5 pounds, and then 10 pounds, and then next thing you know, you're at 30 pounds. And it's just over a period of time, you're gonna continuously add more things, you're gonna continuously improve, add more progressions to whatever you're doing, and that's how you scale and become the best at whatever you wanna accomplish. I want to more so answer the question of who I was back then. If you guys saw my video, my like introduction video, like the first ever one on my YouTube page. If you didn't, you can go watch it. You don't have to. If you want to save like your eyes and ears, it was not the most high quality production video by any means. In the moment where I created that other introduction video on YouTube / my introduction video for my podcast, I was very lost. I was determined, but didn't really necessarily know where I was going or how I was going to do anything, truthfully. Looking back, and now being in hindsight, I realized that if you don't quit, you'll never lose. The only time you'll ever lose is when you decide you're going to quit. even if your back is pushed up against the wall, but you're determined that you're gonna go somewhere and you're gonna do anything in your power to get there, any step that you take is going to be one more closer step to your goal, even though sometimes it feels like it's a huge setback. The reason being is because sometimes you need that setback to be able to force yourself into learning those things. And you can force success and force action, but being dedicated to something every single day because you know that there's something greater for you out there, no matter what it is, that's going to be the thing that keeps you going. Because if you have undeniable faith in yourself, nothing is going to stop you. And I feel like that is what has gotten me to this point, is because even though I've been through times where I have wanted to throw in the rag and just call it quits and just go and do something else and go and do whatever. I don't even know what I wanted to do at those points. There's been so many points where I'm like, I quit all of this. Like, even in trading, if you guys watch my trading intro video, I was like crying. And I was telling you guys how I am deep in the negative when it comes to trading. And I have not had one winning streak. I only know a losing streak. I've won, I think, a few different times, but it's like a very, very small amount of money, and I am significantly in the red. However, even though it's been 3 freaking years of me doing this, I am so freaking determined that I am going to be able to make this happen. And I am not going to give up until I make that money and learn the charts and learn how to look at the charts and interpret them well and be able to do that effectively, because that's a passion of mine. I hated when people told me, like, find a thing that you could do every day for the rest of your life that you would never get bored with. And I was like, bruh, I don't know. I eat the same meal for a week and I feel like it's going to be something that I stick with for the rest of my life, and then I hate it after a week because I eat it for every single meal and then I'm done with it. How am I going to choose a career or something that I'm going to stick with for the rest of my life? I'm also one where, like, I'm afraid to commit to something because I'm afraid that I'm going to be stuck in there for too long. Like, I'm terrified to get married, even though, like, I love Anthony and I've been with him for 4 years, but getting married is terrifying to me because it's like commitment. It's like, okay, there's no going back now. I do have tattoos though, which is really strange to me considering that I'm terrified of commitment. But going back to the original thing is, like, just get started. I think the commitment thing plays into it because I feel like a lot of people get scared of that. And it's more so like, what do you love right now that you feel like you could possibly do for the rest of your life? Because you probably won't be doing that for the rest of your life, especially if you dedicate yourself to it and, like, you grow and scale. You're probably going to have a team and then you're going to manage a team. You're not going to do that for the rest of your life because it will mold and shift, but your foundation will be started on it. And that is how you get somewhere. I started working at an in-person gym and I wanted to become an in-person trainer. And so I did just that. And my foundation is fitness. And that got me to learning sales and learning about being a coach and what it kind of looks like to have to walk the floor and talk to people. And as you could see, it starts to spiral. And now I work for a company where we scale online fitness coaching businesses. And now I'm doing something that I love that I could never even imagine myself doing. But I started out by doing the thing that I love the most and really wanted to succeed in. I left my waitressing job to go and do in-person coaching, which then led me to wanting to start my own business, then wanting to do online fitness coaching, and then it led me to AR, and then I became a part of the team rather than a client, and the rest is history. And that's how things build and grow and start to manipulate themselves. When you're young, it's terrifying because you're like, I have to build a business that I don't know much about because I don't have enough knowledge in the industry or scaling businesses or doing anything of the sort. But you don't necessarily have to do that. Just pick a category of something that you love. That's actually the first step. It's like picking a category of something that you love and then seeing where you can go with it. That is the beauty and the fun of life, and that is the game. That is everything that you need to start off. And then from there, it just scales up more and more. And you're going to learn the skills as you go along anyways. You're going to be thrown to the wolves. Sometimes, again, you want to throw in the towel and just be like, I quit, screw all this, I'm out, goodbye. You don't ever actually do that. Doing the thing that you love, following that passion, following your drive, following your natural cadence of life, you will get to where you want to be. It's just a matter of time and patience. Follow your heart, follow your gut, follow the things that you love, and you will get there. I know that I've filmed an intro video before, and I was like, I'm going to post a video every single week, and then, like, life happened, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going right now. So I kind of put a hiatus on the YouTube channel. I want to post a video every single week. I want to post a video every single freaking day if I could. And I'm just going to post everything that comes from my heart, and then you guys can guide me in a sense of, like, what videos you actually like. Like, I'm going to be posting about trading because trading plays into mindset. I'm going to be posting about business. I'm going to be posting about Go High Level. I'm going to be posting about all of the different aspects of my life with so that you guys can hopefully learn something from a piece of the category of what I'm doing. Because although maybe my trading stuff doesn't immediately relate to you, maybe the mindset of trading is something that you need to hear, and maybe something you watch because you like me yapping away while looking at the charts. And even though you might not know what I'm doing, that's a-okay. Maybe me just sitting down and doing more talks like this, talking about business and entrepreneurship and owning an online coaching business or go high level workflows. So GHL for sure, because I'm an expert in it, and I feel like everyone is just like randomly hopping on go high level, and y'all need help because go high level is a beast of a software. And I've been in it for so long. So like ask me questions and I will answer and like create videos for you. The real side of operations and team management. So I can, of course, go into like team management, operations, how I'm like what I'm doing on the day to day outside of like building go high level workflows, and like how I run meetings and how I talk to my team and how do I make them like buy into me and the team culture. That's one thing as a manager too. My team might know this as well. I feel like they love me, and the reason why is because I feel like every single one of them are like my best friends, but like we're on a mission together to make sure that these clients stay on and that we're providing the best service to them. So how do we do that? And that's where like my best friend conversations are surrounded by, because we just have meetings that are scheduled each week and we just talk about it. Like, granted, yes, it's a job, it's a work, but like, how do you make it not feel like work? And how do you make your team not only buy into the mission and the purpose, but also buy into you? Because if they don't trust you as a leader and a manager, you're screwed. My goals in life, fun fact about me, when I filmed my last intro video, I was $128,000 in debt. And last October, I am now debt free, which is really cool. I've never been debt free, and I actually have like money in my bank account now, which is even crazier to me, which is also, again, really cool and something that I'm proud of. Within 2 years as an employee, I figured out a way to pay off that much debt. So, and we did it. I crushed it, and we're all good now. It sucked going through it, but at the end, towards the end, it was actually a lot easier than I anticipated, and I was able to pay it off on my first cat's birthday, which is just like a significant date for me. It's October 1st. So I can always talk about finances. And then leadership content for people who are building in real time with no blueprint. So like if you guys have questions about leadership, again, managing meetings, managing a team on go high level, I got you. That's literally what I do on the day to day. So just to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about like my 2026 goals and vision is like, I really, 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 really badly want to build a brand for myself. I want to provide so much value to you guys that it's undeniable that I am your go-to for, I don't know, I just want to say like big sister stuff, like anything when it comes to business, when it comes to life, like I just want to help you guys out. I don't really have like a direct idea of where this goes. Like maybe, yeah, I go directly into go high level and people just love my go high level content. Maybe it's into trading and people just love my trading content. I have no idea, but I am willing to put myself out there in all aspects and just see where it goes and see where you guys want it to go. You guys interacting with my videos is going to be the thing that like determines what my next journey looks like, because I'm going to keep doing what I love, and whatever happens online, I'll just double down on it. I'm not gonna lie, all of my life, I haven't really had like specific goals. Like granted, I got some goals. Like I want to Porsche. Like I want a Tesla this year. I definitely have specific goals. If you were to ask me like my specific goals in 5 years, like, I don't know. I didn't think I would be here now within 3 years of like going from literally no business, struggling, $128,000 in debt, $100 a month coming out of my bank account because of the business that I was trying to start. Like that was me 3 years ago. And then today my life looks completely different. I moved halfway across the country. I am now debt free. I'm making my goal income that I wrote 3 years ago. Like I'm doing the things. So I never know what my next 5 years is going to look like, because I also don't know what the world is going to look like in 5 years. And I don't know where I'm going to be at. All I know is that every single day I'm going to show up, and I'm going to show up as best as I possibly can. Some days will be better than others. And my goal is just to become the best person I possibly can be and make the most impact I can on anybody who's watching my life. Granted, I would love to become like the next Layla Hermosi or Shelby Sapp and own my own empire. Do I know what that looks like? Absolutely not. But am I going to get there? Absolutely. And however God decides he wants to take me and like what lessons I need to learn along the way, I am all here for it and I'm ready. Yeah, I have a half marathon this year, leadership growth. One thing that my content marketer girl, Martina, she did with me is she wants me to create a Pinterest board of like my ideal life. And I feel like this whole past week had this like come to Jesus moment where I was on Instagram. There's a couple that I like look up to a lot. Timon and Lisan Krek, I think is how you pronunciate their last name. But they live on a small island in Thailand, I believe. And they create content for a living and they just live the island life. And it reminds me of my Costa Rica life, so to speak. And I deeply miss that. And I feel like other than when I'm at Disney and I'm with my family there and like hanging out all happy, the other period of my life that I am the most happiest is when I'm in Costa Rica and like seeing the sunrise, being able to go surf, living my life, working from home. Like that's the life when I think about, I'm like so zen. However, I do love my like luxury things and like my premium things as well. Like I love my high rise in Dallas. I love both aspects to either of those lives. Like I love the luxury, super fancy cars, nice house, traveling, like seeing the world sort of lifestyle, but I also love the simple life. So I'm kind of going through like a midlife crisis right now of like how do I balance both? But I love both extremes. Wherever God decides he wants to take me is where I want to go. And I'm ready for that journey and to become the best possible version of myself so I can serve and again make the most impact possible. But that's kind of who I'm becoming. That's where I want to be. That's where I've been. That's a little bit about me. If there's anything in particular that you guys want to see, feel free to comment down below or reach out to me in some way, shape, or form or some facet. And I would love to create the videos that you guys want to see more and more of. This is going to be the next category in my life that I want to add in, and you guys can help me shape that, which I'm super, super, super excited about. Overall, I hope you guys like this video as much as I loved yapping and recording it. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out and let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Go on ahead, hit that subscribe button, and I can keep sharing my life with you guys, and you guys can follow along the journey of my life, see where I go, and ask me questions along the way so I can help you guys with your journey and your story and what all you are going to tell. So, period. End of story. I need more energy. I need to go eat. I'll talk to you guys soon. Love ya. Bye.